It's the RUSS PARR'S Morning Show.
The RUSS PARR'S Morning Show.
Hey, this morning show, your take is being brought to you by Burger King. Get a better Philly cheese made with flame-grilled burgers. Try the new extra-long Philly cheeseburger at Burger King before they're gone. Now just 2 for $5 only at Burger King. Restrictions apply. All right, the number here, 1-877-727-7746. I was having this conversation with somebody on Twitter, and we were kind of going back and forth. And he's an African-American man. And, he lives in a neighborhood that's predominantly black. And he says that he is scared to walk in his own neighborhood. He's scared of his own people. He says, especially some of these young heads. And I'm like, it's gotten to that.
That's so crazy. I was just having that conversation, too.
Scared of his own folk.
A lot of people get mad when, white folks are like, oh, my gosh, he had on a hoodie and he was walking. But you know what? At night, sometimes you are afraid. Like, you have to watch your back.
Because animals, they have an instinct where they know that there's danger coming. And you're not supposed to second guess it.
Yeah.
But people are saying, how do you feel that way about your people?
Right.
Because that was my first response.
Well, speaking of animals, people sense fear. So, if you looking like you're afraid and you looking scared. And
then they get to attack you.
But you don't go on your first instinct.
But when you live in a neighborhood where there are a bunch of young kids that are robbing people every single day, and it's a pack of them, and so you're walking by a group of young people like, oh, gosh, I hope they don't try to take my phone, push me down.
But can I say something?
Cross the other side of the street.
Well, you should. If you're scared, you should.
But no, here's the situation. If you live in a neighborhood, you know the people to avoid. If you live in a rich neighborhood, you got to avoid the crazy white people in your neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's just black. I'm saying there might be crazy. If you live in an affluent neighborhood, you might have a crazy white neighbor. You got to avoid him too.
In this case, we're talking about in his neighborhood. He said, the kids are not allowed to play outside anymore. It's like, even it get close to sundown, man, it turns into a ghost town, except you see some of the regular dudes out on the corner and they're packed up, So I don't know. Do you guys feel that way? Do you feel like, hey, I'm kind of concerned and scared of my own folk? 1-877-PARR'S. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning. How you doing, Russ?
All right. What's your take?
Yeah. I get what the guy's saying. I get what he's saying because I ain't gonna say everybody, but these little youngins is off the hook. It's one time I had walked home from jail, and I had one wallet in my hand just in case anything happened, and I could just talk to the side or whatever, because you have to watch yourself in an all black neighborhood like that. You have to.
You say you're walking home from jail.
Don't like.
Yeah,
Okay.
No, my thing is this. In my neighborhood, I'm not afraid in my neighborhood. Now, maybe if I'm at the gas station at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, that may not be the wise decision. But as far as in my neighborhood, nah.
Really?
And you know what, guys? I know we're talking about in a black neighborhood, but, I'm sure Hispanic people that live in the Hispanic hood feel the same way. I'm sure people, it's just what it is when you live and you grow up in the hood. You got to know who to avoid.
KFC just tweeted me at RUSS PARR'S Show. I'm not afraid, but very cautious. I live in Northeast D.C.
That's what it is.
Home of the brave.
Is it sad that you can't walk in your own neighborhood and you just got to look over your shoulder?
But it's just what it is.
And some of these kids, you grew up, you know them. You know their parents.
That's why you know them.
But when they get around their little peers, they turn into somebody different.
Else, yep.
What up, in? Wait a minute. What happened to Uncle Russ?
You can't even ride the train without. There were kids just beating up people sitting on the train, not doing anything, just start punching them, jumping them.
Yeah.
Like, you can't even ride the train.
1-877-PARR'S. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning. Just this week, I had 2 situations where a young man came and knocked on my door, and he said he had gotten jumped and needed a ride home. I was afraid to even, let him use the phone because I know in the past people have used ploys like that to come in and take advantage of people in their homes. And then another situation, I was leaving out of the gas station, and 3 men were sort of loitering, and I was afraid to get in my car. It was a fleeting thought, but it was still there, and that just let me know that we have a long way to go as a people, and I'm pro-black all day, but just the fact that fleeting thought was there that they might do something to me, even though it was unsubstantiated, it's scary, and we just have a long way to go, and we can't blame the white folks.
And it's a damn shame. Yeah, we got to sit up and look over our shoulder at our own kids. Man, that is 1-877-PARR'S Show. Good morning.
Yeah, morning time. How's it going?
All right, man. Go ahead.
Look here. Maybe your friend scared he might hurt one of them little Maryland Palmer. I remember one day I was walking down Rhode Island Avenue, and I saw this young guy. He was selling candy, and all of a sudden he ran across the street, and he started walking beside me. And I'm like, hey, how's it going, bro? You selling candy? He's like, yeah. And I looked, and it was about 6 other guys coming up the other way. So he was walking with me because it was protection pretty much. But again, your friend...
he might have been walking you into something.
Yeah, watch out.
That's true.
Yeah.
You wanted to wait for you to pull that money out.
Look, he didn't think about that. He was
He might have just walked in. He's directing you to
Actually.
traffic.
Yeah.
So they might have been trying to take you down.
But you know what? It's not even funny anymore.
Nope.
And times have changed. And when I see little kids just walking around the street by themselves, and they're under the age of 6, hell, that's crazy.
Sad.
That's crazy. Anyway, I don't know. I have no resolution, y'all. Yes, we just complained for the last 5 minutes, but hey, y'all, it's the same situation.
I don't think it's complaining. I think it's just be aware of your surroundings.
Yep.
Thank you for saving me on that, sweetheart. I appreciate that.
The Russ Parr Morning Show.